Yo, what is good people, Ben from Lover of Tech, and we are back with another video, this time camera comparison. Pixel 8 Pro versus Pixel 7 Pro versus Pixel 6 Pro. It's been 2 years and 3 generations of Pixel Pro devices. What's the difference when it comes to the camera performance? Let's find out as we test in daylight, low light, with the rear camera and the front facing cameras for videos and pictures. Have Google finally mastered the main 50 megapixel sensor? And in fact, with the shift to a new 48 megapixel ultrawide and an improved 5x optical zoom, is there an improvement after 2 years and 3 generations of Pixel Pro devices when it comes to camera performance? Well, let's find out. Best way to watch this camera comparison is at the highest resolution and frame rate at 4K 60. And there will be chapters linked in the description below, but definitely sit back, relax and watch this because it is going to be a good one. So we are now recording in the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. Now the Pixel 6 Pro does not support 4K 60 on a front facing camera. To get 60 FPS, you do have to switch to 1080p. But we are gonna just switch it and use the 4K 30 for now, just to see how the image quality and stabilization is like. Quick run. We're still recording in the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro on a front facing camera. With the Pixel 6 Pro, we've dropped this down to FHD 1080p in 60 FPS to get the same frame rate. But again, you cannot do both the resolution and the frame rate at the same time. Quick run. We are now recording in the 4K UHD 30 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and also the Pixel 6 Pro. And again, all matching on the same resolution and frame rate. Just seeing how the performance is like when it comes to image quality, detail, colors, dynamic range with the sun being out, as well as stabilization. Quick run. We are now recording in the 4K UHD 30 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. Just seeing how the image quality is like, detail, colors, dynamic range, and of course, video stabilization. Quick run. Let's now switch to the ultra wide. And quick run. Let's move into the 2x mode. Now, what we are going to do is do a 4x zoom. To start with, and what that does is it's going to show the switch to the 4x optical on the Pixel 6 Pro. Just doing a slow walk to see how it behaves. And then I'm going to go to the 5x optical just so you can see the difference. And switch to a 5x. Back to the 1x, back to the 1x, back to the 1x. And again, for reference, on all Pixel devices, when you're recording in 4K 30, you can pause recording and continue recording on the same clip. And you can take pictures, but you cannot flip to the selfie camera while recording on the same clip. Again, up until the Pixel 8 Pro, Google still haven't added this feature. I would love to see them add this level of flexibility when you're recording in video. We are recording in the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. And again, just seeing how the performance in 4K 60 differs between the three when it comes to colors, detail, sharpness, dynamic range, and especially video stabilization. Quick run. Okay, here's a couple of things to consider when it comes to improvements in recording in 4K 60 between the Pixel 6 Pro, 7 Pro, and Pixel 8 Pro. The Pixel 6 Pro does not support 4K 60 on the ultra wide. If you want 60 frames a second, then you do have to switch to 1080p, which we'll demonstrate after. And if you want to use 60 frames a second, you do have to switch to 1080p if you want to use it in the 4x telephoto zoom mode. Whereas, as you can see with the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, while you're recording on the same clip, you can switch to the ultra wide, and you've got maximum flexibility to go into the 2x, which does the central crop, as well as the 5x optical. This is all happening on the same clip. You don't have to pause recording to switch. Again, you can go into the 2x mode, which is doing a central crop on the main sensor on the Pixel 6 Pro, but there is no 4K 60 option on the ultra wide or the 4x telephoto zoom. So just something to consider. We're still recording in a 4K UHD 60 frames a second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, but this time on the ultra wide. And because we are on the ultra wide on the Pixel 6 Pro, we've had to switch to 1080p FHD 60 FPS to get the same frame rate to match on the ultra wide, but you do have a drop in the resolution on the Pixel 6 Pro. Quick run. Again, showing you get maximum flexibility to be able to switch when you're in 1080p 60 on a Pixel 6 Pro. Still recording in a 4K 60 frames a second video recorder mode on a Pixel 8 Pro and a Pixel 7 Pro. We're still in 1080p 60 on the Pixel 6 Pro. We are now in the 2x mode, which is doing a lossless crop on a main wide sensor. Let's do a quick run. I've noticed something very strange. As stated, in 4K 60, both the Pixel 8 Pro and Pixel 7 Pro do switch to the optical zoom lens in 5x, but in the 4x on the Pixel 6 Pro in 1080p 60, it's still cropping in on the main wide sensor. So I tested it a good couple of times, and this doesn't seem to be an issue when you're in 4K 30. Again, this is cropping in. Usually you'll see that lens transition like you would see from the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. See that lens transition right there? 2x, 5x, that lens transition right there. Ultra wide is fine, 1x, 2x, 4x. You don't see that lens transition. Back to the main camera. We are now in the active video stabilization mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and Pixel 6 Pro, which is still limited to 1080p 30 frames a second. No improvements there. We've got a 1x mode now, and then we'll do the 2x mode. Fast run. Quick switch over to the 2x mode. 3, and another fast run. We are now recording in a 4K UHD 30 frames a second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. This time with the rear cameras, with me in the frame as the subject. And again, just seeing how it handles things like dynamic range, colors, detail, sharpness, with a human in the frame as a subject, and our handles it next to the scenery. And of course, in the 4K 30 frames per second video recorder mode, we've got maximum flexibility. We are going to switch to the ultra wide 1.3. Right, just going to see how the image quality looks like now. With the ultra wide, you will see that the Pixel 6 Pro doesn't really have an ultra wide field of view like you do on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. So that's one of the improvements there. Let's go back to the main 1X sensor. Still recording in a 4K 30 frames per second video recorder mode. Now we're in the 2X mode, which is doing a lossless crop on the main wide sensor on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. And again, just see how the image quality is like in 4K 30 with the rear cameras on the subject. This time, we're in a 4X digital crop on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 to match the 4X optical on the Pixel 6 Pro, just to see the difference before we switch to the 5X. Let's now switch to the 5X on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. Again, we're doing a slight crop on the 4X optical to 5X mode on the Pixel 6 Pro. You should see an improvement in the visual quality on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro to pretty much match the distance in focal length telephoto change. We are now recording in the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel 7 Pro, and also the Pixel 6 Pro. This time starting on the main wide sensor, and this is mainly because the Pixel 6 Pro does not support 4K 60 on the 4X telephoto zoom or the ultra wide. So we're looking at the 1X main wide and seeing how the performance is like with me in the frame as a subject. Again, just demonstrating on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, you can switch to the ultra wide while you're recording in 4K 60. We showcased this before. You can go into the 2X mode on the Pixel 8 Pro as well as the Pixel 7 Pro. You could even press the 5X, although it's going to zoom in too much, we'll reframe it properly after, and go back to the main 1X. And that's the flexibility you get on 4K 60 with support on all the lenses, with simultaneous switching and recording on the same clip. This is something you can't do on a Pixel 6 Pro. We're still in a 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and Pixel 6 Pro. We're in the 2X mode, which is again the lossless crop on the main wide sensor. Just seeing the image quality. Slow walk. Very slow walk. We've now had to drop the resolution on the Pixel 6 Pro down to 1080p to get 60 FPS to match the same frame rate, or will not get the same resolution on the ultra wide that we get with the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. So this is the improvements that you get generation on generation when it comes to the Pixel 7 Pro and Pixel 8 Pro in high frame rate on the ultra wide with high resolution. Slow walk back. This is the 4X mode, and with the 4X mode you can see the quality difference before we have to switch to the optical on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. Let's just leave it here for a moment. Again, what I'm noticing is with the Pixel 6 Pro, in the 4X mode, it's not using an optical sensor. It's still cropping in on a main wide sensor. Okay, let's go to the 5X mode. And you should see the lens switch transition. position on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. And there's a slight crop now to 5x to match. If I need to step back, I'll be told. So we are now recording in a cinematic video blur mode on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. This is only available on a main wide sensor at 1080p 24 FPS. Pixel 6 Pro does not have this feature at all, so we're recording this in a 1080p 30 frames per second video recorder mode. Again, there isn't really much flexibility on the video portrait cinematic blur mode on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro anyway. There's no 4K option, no 30 FPS. You can't change the blur intensity before, during, or after you finish recording. But this is two features that are there compared to the Pixel 6 Pro on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. So something to indeed consider if you like the feature. So we are now recording in a 4K UHD 30 frames per second video recorder mode on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and Pixel 6 Pro. Just seeing how the low light performance is like. I'm just checking the lens flaring. Let's switch to the ultra wide. Come back to the main. Switch to the 2x. X. X. Of course, just to match what the Pixel R5X to match the Pixel 7 Pro, Pixel 8 Pro. Back to the main. Back to the main camera. We are now in the selfie recorder mode in 4K UHD 30 frames per second on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. And just seeing how the low light performance is with the front facing camera. Let's now move over to analyzing the photos, starting with the daytime images with the landscape shots on the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 7 Pro, and Pixel 6 Pro, starting with the ultra wide. You can already tell The ultra-wide field of view on the Pixel 6 Pro is nowhere near as much as what you get on the Pixel 7 Pro and especially the Pixel 8 Pro. And in terms of how it produces its image, the Pixel 6 Pro is going for a slightly more saturated, contrasty, slightly darker image, especially when you look at the foreground shadow of the grass compared to what you see on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, which are a lot more similar. But I will say the Pixel 7 Pro is slightly more saturated, especially if you look at the blues in the sky, whereas the Pixel 8 Pro is a lot more balanced. We're moving to the main wide sensor. The Pixel 6 Pro stays a lot more consistent to the look it had on the ultra wide. Things change ever so slightly on the Pixel 8 Pro, where it pretty much now kind of matches how it looks on the Pixel 6 Pro, whereas the Pixel 7 Pro kind of tones things down a bit while still keeping a slightly saturated sky when it comes to the blues in there. Right, this is the 2x digital crop mode on a main wide sensor. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really rocking with the Pixel 6 Pro's look. I will say that the slightly warmer tones of the Pixel 8 Pro are more pleasing to daylight, whereas the Pixel 7 Pro does have a slightly more cooler tone, but it really is just down to personal taste in this particular situation. Right, let's look at the 4x mode. Why? Because the Pixel 6 Pro does have a 4x dedicated telephoto lens, whereas the others actually moved up to a 5x telephoto zoom lens. And this is where you can pretty much see the difference, because the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro are doing a 4x crop on the main wide sensor, and you can see the Pixel 6 Pro is producing a better image. As you can see on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, the fence does have a lot of color shifting, rare, and that's not something you're seeing on a Pixel 6 Pro because it is using a dedicated zoom lens in this particular situation. Now, when we shift over to 5x, this is where we kick in on the optical zoom lens on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro compared to it doing a slight digital crop on a 4x. But really, it actually holds up very well on the Pixel 6 Pro. And in some ways, I kind of prefer the shorter distance between the 1x to the 4x. Once you apply the extra 1x on the digital zoom on the 4x zoom lens, it really doesn't make that much of a difference in loss of quality because super res zoom kicks in and it pretty much matches up well. I will say the overall look of the Pixel 8 Pro is a lot better. I think Google have really tuned the colors when it comes to how it handles it in daylight. So I would say the Pixel 8 Pro takes it here. But moving to the extended zoom range, you can see that great clarity on all three. And it's just the consistency of how the colors are. The Pixel 7 Pro is a lot cooler. The Pixel 8 Pro balances a nice warm tone, but doesn't overdo it anywhere near as much as what you're seeing on the Pixel 6 Pro. And again, in the 20x zoom mode, that's the maximum for the Pixel 6 Pro. You've got the 20x zoom mode on the Pixel 8 Pro as well as the Pixel 7 Pro, and you can extend further to 30x, which actually clears up the image really nicely where you can see the Leisure League's letters very clearly. Here's some of the differences you're going to be seeing with the absolute latest Pixel 8 Pro. It does allow you to have a Pro mode, which gives you the option of shooting the 50 megapixel JPEG or RAW. This particular case we're showcasing JPEG, and this is on the main 1x wide sensor, whereas you don't have a high resolution mode on a Pixel 6 Pro and Pixel 7 Pro. Whether Google are going to bring this later in a future drop, we don't know, but for now, this is only available on a Pixel 8 Pro. And this is something you can do on the ultra wide. Now, I find this very weird because the ultra wide sensor on the Pixel 8 Pro has been upgraded to a 48 megapixel sensor. So while Google is saying this is a 50 megapixel image, I don't know whether this is a 12 megapixel image that they've blown up to 50 MP, or it is a true 48 megapixel image of that sensor, but just rounded up to 50. I'm not entirely sure, but you do get the option to do that for the ultra wide. And you also have the option of the 50 megapixel mode in JPEG on the 5x optical zoom, because that is a 48 megapixel sensor. Same thing. I don't know whether this is a 12 megapixel bin image that they've blown up to 50 megapixels, or it is actually using the full 48 megapixels and it's just rounded up to 50 megapixels for just parity across how it would describe it in the camera UI. But again, this is something that's available, and this is absolutely new where all the cameras at the back of the Pixel 8 Pro are high resolution. This is a direct shot against the sun, and this is more seeing how does it handle lens flaring, a very high contrast situation against the sun, and also shadow details. And you can see It's pretty much the same. What I will say though is the Pixel 8 Pro really manages lens flaring a lot better. With the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, you can see around the sun, there's a hazing effect with a different color shift where you're not getting on the Pixel 8 Pro. So this is something that Google has really cleaned up well. And you do see some light orbs on the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. I'm not really seeing on the Pixel 8 Pro. It's very faint at the front, but much better on the Pixel 8 Pro. And then when you go to the ultra wide, again, you can see the progressiveness where the lens flaring is a lot more aggressive on the Pixel 6 Pro, kind of has a stylistic look to it. It's very much well managed on the Pixel 7 Pro. And again, even better managed on the Pixel 8 Pro. So it's good to see Google having that improvement. But overall, when it comes to things like shadow details and contrast and management of the sun in terms of HDR, they're all pretty much the same. Again, testing the situation here in a high resolution mode, you can see that things are very consistent. So it's great to see that although the processing time and capture time for high resolution JPEGs increases compared to the standard 12 megapixels, when it comes to actual the look of the image, it's really much the same and you're getting that extra detail in daylight. So it's really good to see it. And it's again, very consistent when it comes to the ultra wide when using a high megapixel mode. So this is a benefit that you're getting with the Pixel 8 Pro that you don't have on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 6 Pro. So if that's worth the investment, this is something to consider. Okay, let's take a look at some close-up shots of the flower. And you can see that the minimum focus and distance on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro are a lot better and improved compared to the Pixel 6 Pro, meaning that when you do get closer to the flower with the main wide sensor, you do get a natural blur effect. But one advantage you're really going to be getting is macro mode. And this is something that's available on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro that you don't get on the Pixel 6 Pro. But even further, with the Pixel 8 Pro, the minimum focus and distance has improved that bit more, so you can get closer to the subject. So that's something that if you're into, you get it on both the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, but it is slightly better improved on the Pixel 8 Pro. Let's take a look at some selfies, and boy, this is a case of spot the difference. And that's a good thing. It just tells me that things are a lot closer here when it comes to front-facing camera selfies. And it's really just color tuning. If you look at it, things are tuned slightly better for things like, let's just say, the colors of my jacket and the overall skin tones, but overall they're on par. And I will say the scene around, when you look around, let's just say the grass on the Pixel 6 Pro, it's slightly more saturated, and even my jacket is slightly more saturated. So you might actually prefer that, but I will say the Pixel 8 Pro is well balanced, whereas the Pixel 7 Pro is slightly muted. So I think they've tuned it where the Pixel 8 Pro marries the best of both worlds of what the Pixel 6 Pro had and the Pixel 7 Pro. And I think the Pixel 8 Pro is the best one to go for. And in this case, when you go to the portrait mode, again, things stay the same and consistent when it comes to the colors. It's really down to just the blur and the background effect, and they just pretty much look the same to me. So unless you can tell the difference, let me know in the comment section below. Last set of daytime shots with me in the frame as the subject, and we'll start with the main wide sensor. Again, these are pretty much on par. They still look so good. You can tell the Pixel 6 Pro definitely had a much more saturated color tone, whereas they dialed it back for the Pixel 7 Pro and they nailed it somewhere in between the two when it comes to the Pixel 8 Pro. So I still say the Pixel 8 Pro just about has the more pleasing look between the two, but overall, all three really nail it well. And when you go to the ultra wide, you can see that the ultra wide field of view on the Pixel 6 Pro isn't as ultra wide compared to what you get on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. But again, the overall look of the Pixel 8 Pro nails somewhere between what you have on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 6 Pro. And I think Google did a great job to tune it that way. But I know some people might like the more saturated look of the Pixel 6 Pro. So if you have that and you prefer it, hey, there's nothing wrong with it apart from the ultra wide perspective not being as wide as the other two. Again, same for the 2x mode. I personally think the Pixel 8 Pro, then followed by the 7 Pro and the Pixel 6 Pro in the order of how good the image looks. Things really fall apart in terms of the image quality more for the Pixel 6 Pro, and it struggles to focus at that distance. We tried it many times, and that's just something to consider, that things are just much more consistent on the Pixel 8 Pro. And in the 4x mode, again, super res zoom, even though the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro are doing a digital crop on the main wide sensor and the Pixel 6 Pro is using an optical sensor, right? Things still look very good in the Pixel 8 Pro. And then I would say probably the Pixel 6 Pro than the 7 Pro. And then when we go into the 5x optical zoom, you can see the perspective really changes. It's not just, a crop, it's actually changing to the dedicated 5x zoom lens. So that does change the compression and the perspective, and I definitely like what I'm seeing on the Pixel 8 Pro for sure. Portrait mode, and I'll say portrait mode performance hasn't really changed that much generationally between the three. Why? I've always suspected this, and I've always said this, that every camera comparison I've done with the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, that the 1x mode was really more cropping in at 1.33 to 1.5x, and now on the Pixel 8 Pro, that's what it says, 1.5x, and then you've got the 2x after. And you can see in this mode, it's pretty much the same field of view. Now, away from how the colors in the image look, which is very much reminiscent of what we covered before, the edge detection and the blur effect is pretty much the same. And I really hope in the future, Google just allows us to have better communication with how the portrait mode is being taken and performs, because sometimes it's a hit and miss. It would say it's a portrait image and the blur doesn't work, and you have to then apply it in post after, which you can do on a normal image. But again, I think the look of the Pixel 8 Pro strikes the right balance between the two. But you know what? The Pixel 6 Pro's got a look to it that I know a lot of people will still like, and I really gravitate to it a lot more than I thought. And here's the 2x mode. And in terms of, again, things being more consistent, the Pixel 8 Pro does perform a lot better. Things fall apart a little bit on the Pixel 7 Pro. The Pixel 6 Pro actually holds up a lot better than I actually expected compared to the Pixel 7 Pro. But yeah, you can see the improvement with the Pixel 8 Pro being a lot more consistent. But again, at this distance, you can see that the edge detection around the ears on my left side of the ear and the right side of the ear can be a bit of a hit and miss on the Pixel 8 Pro and overall on the Pixels. And that's something I hope they can really look at and improve going forward. And wrapping up, showcasing a high resolution mode, which is only available on the Pixel 8 Pro. Starting with the main wide sensor, you can see very consistent. The only thing you're really looking to take a hit on in this situation is capture speed and processing time, which is a bit slower. But in terms of the consistency, when the daylight and you've got enough light for it, it's really good to have that option and you get the HDR kick in. This is the same for the ultra wide as well, which I'm really liking the look of it in the high resolution mode. And also you can do this in a 5x when comparing it to the other two in a 12 megapixel mode. Let's turn the lights down and look at some low light images. And here's where I think you're gonna start seeing more differences on a finer detail between the Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. Let's start with the ultra wide. And these first set of images are taken without night mode. I've explained this before, that taking a shot without night mode gives you the fastest capture time, right? And then we're gonna see how that improves with night mode with a slower capture time. Now, without night mode, the ultra wide performance has really improved on the Pixel 8 Pro. And this is pretty much down to the new 48 megapixel sensor that they've gone with. It's bigger, higher resolution, better aperture. This is a big advantage when not using night mode for fast capture when using ultra wide. We'll move into the main wide sensor. Biggest thing you can see again is much better clarity and detail. And one thing I'm really liking is if you look at the lamp, there is less color shifting and less lens flaring. This is a nice touch to the Pixel 8 Pro that really just makes the image that much better to capture without night mode. In the 2x mode, things pretty much stay consistent. The performance on the Pixel 8 Pro is definitely the best. In terms of color management, I would say the Pixel 6 Pro looks better to my eyes compared to the Pixel 7 Pro. But again, this could really just go down to personal taste. And then the 4x mode, based on the fact that we are meant to be using a 4S optical on the 6 Pro, but for my eye, I think during low light in this particular situation, the Pixel 6 Pro is cropping on the main wide sensor, and Pixels don't give you the option to select what dedicated lens works at nighttime. So it looks like it's cropping on the main sensor. And for that reason alone, the Pixel 8 Pro's processing is a lot better because you can see the image on the Pixel 7 Pro. It falls apart, especially when you're looking at the grass. Things just look way more consistent on the Pixel 8 Pro, and it carries over to be exactly the same when it comes to going into the 5x mode. It's probably cropping on the main sensor. The Pixel 8 Pro is performing the best. It's processing it a lot better. So yeah, this is an improvement when it comes to the Pixel 8 Pro when not using night. Let's run it back and turn on night mode, starting again from the ultra wide, and all of them benefit. And I would actually say I prefer the Pixel 6 Pro low key. The Pixel 8 Pro is a little bit too warm, so I wish they kind of dialed it down a bit and made the image a little bit cooler. And I like the Pixel 7 Pro just based on the fact that you do get a wider ultra wide field of view. But yeah, the Pixel 6 Pro is looking really good and benefits from night mode on the ultra wide a lot. Moving over to the main wide sensor, you can see this is the problem with night mode. Yes, you get the longer exposure, but overpowers and accentuates the lens flaring and color shifting from the lamps that you get on the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. This is something you're not getting from the Pixel 8 Pro. So that's just gonna make the image a lot more pleasing and consistent. So definitely something to consider. And again, you go into the 2X mode with night mode, it's the same thing. Things dialed down a lot better when it comes to the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro when it comes to lens flaring and the color shifting around the lights. But the Pixel 8 Pro is a lot more consistent. This is exactly the same when it comes to the 4X mode. Again, the grass detail, better process on the Pixel 8 Pro, where it still falls apart on the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, and that is consistent in a 5X zoom mode. So again, when it comes to low light performance, the consistency and the improvement on the Pixel 8 Pro, however fine it is, it's really very much welcome. Let's look at some low light selfies, and instantly I look at the Pixel 8 Pro and that's the one that just nails it. It's more consistent to be in focus, it's sharper, more detailed, and it just balances the colors a lot better than the others. But overall, I would say the Pixel 8 Pro definitely takes it. Whereas the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro, the image is a little bit softer than I would like. Yeah, the Pixel 8 Pro. Let's turn on night mode and we can see night mode benefits on all of them. All of them are performing really good in this particular situation. In fact, I would actually say the Pixel 6 Pro is the one I prefer with night mode out of the three, then the Pixel 8 Pro, then the Pixel 7 Pro. Let me know what order you think goes for this particular situation. And when we turn on the front screen flash, it overpowers, and I think the Pixel 8 Pro gives a more natural look, but I think this is more down to the type of screen being used now, being very bright on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro compared to the Pixel 6 Pro. It favors the Pixel 6 Pro, but overall the detail is there on the Pixel 8 Pro. Run it again for portrait mode, and low light portrait performance without night mode definitely works a lot better on the Pixel 8 Pro. The image is a lot softer on the Pixel 7 Pro, and the image is sharp on the Pixel 6 Pro. So it's the Pixel 8 Pro, Pixel 6 Pro, and Pixel 7 Pro in this particular situation. And when we turn on night mode, again, I would say the Pixel 6 Pro actually captures my look. It captures the look that I prefer the most. Then followed by the 7 Pro, and the 8 Pro really falls apart here more than I thought it would do. And then with the front screen flash, again, I actually think due to the nature of the screen being used, the Pixel 6 Pro looks the best to me, then the Pixel 7 Pro, and then the Pixel 8 Pro. It looks like the Pixel 8 Pro screen is too bright for its own good, especially being at a peak brightness of 2400 nits. Last set of low light images with me in the rear as a subject, and already you can see that this first set of sequences, we're running it again, no night mode active, and with the main wide sensor, it's got to be the Pixel 8 Pro. From the Pixel 8 Pro, it's the Pixel 7 Pro just because it's more in focus and it's sharper, whereas the image does look a bit soft on the Pixel 6 Pro, even though the overall look in terms of colors is really well done. But the Pixel 8 Pro, man, Google have really improved the performance without night mode. And when we go to the ultra wide, it's consistent again. The ultra wide performance on the Pixel 8 Pro without night mode is in a league of its own. The Pixel 7 Pro, very soft. In fact, it feels and looks softer than the Pixel 6 Pro. It's just that the Pixel 6 Pro's color shifting is a lot more warmer, magenta overall. So it's almost like a filter on top of it. So you can really choose what look you like, but it's the Pixel 8 Pro without night mode on the ultra wide all the way. Let's go to the 2X mode, and in the 2X mode, wow, all of them do a very good job. The Pixel 8 Pro kind of crops in a little bit more compared to the other two, so this one's really hard to pick. I'm still gonna go with the Pixel 8 Pro in this particular situation because I think it strikes the best balance between how saturated it looks on the Pixel 6 Pro versus how toned down it is on the Pixel 7 Pro. Google have tuned it to be very consistent to hit in between. Let's go to the 4X mode, and the image does become softer overall on all, but I would say the Pixel 8 Pro holds it better than the Pixel 6 Pro and then the Pixel 7 Pro. Let me know what you think in that regard. And then when we go into the 5X mode, yeah, the image is very soft on the Pixel 7 Pro. It holds a better look on the Pixel 8 Pro. And then I would say the Pixel 6 Pro, even though it does lose detail. Now let's run it back with night mode active, and instantly I look at it and it's the Pixel 8 Pro. And it's not to say the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro are not doing good. No, they benefit very much well. And if you're actually using night mode in this situation, you're good with either. but it's in the fine details. And I just think Google have tuned it really well on the Pixel 8 Pro. And again, on the ultra wide, again, massive improvement for the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. But I would say the Pixel 6 Pro, the colors look way too muted in my opinion. So I'll definitely say the Pixel 8 Pro, then followed by the 7 Pro, then the Pixel 6 Pro with night mode on the ultra wide. In the 2x mode, again, very consistent. I think all of them do a great job. I actually think the detail that we're getting from the Pixel 6 Pro has improved. I would actually say the Pixel 7 Pro, then the Pixel 6 Pro, and then the Pixel 8 Pro. I don't really like the look of the Pixel 8 Pro for some reason compared to the other two. But overall, I think all three, in their way, they're still doing very good. And the same in the 4x mode again. I think a great improvement when it comes to night mode being active. It's really a pick and it's down to personal choice. I'm gonna pick in this particular situation. Looking at, I would say the Pixel 7 Pro has improved the most, then followed by the Pixel 8 Pro, then the Pixel 6 Pro. But again, whichever one you pick, you're not gonna have an issue. And then the 5x mode, it pretty much stays consistent, just like what we saw in the 4x mode. So again, whichever one you pick in this particular situation, you're benefiting a lot from the improved night mode. Portrait mode, and it is a struggle in all three when it comes to things like edge detection and blur. When looking at that, I would say the Pixel 7 Pro struggled the most, then followed by the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. To be fair, all of them struggled in their own way, but in terms of the overall look, you look at it, you're definitely going to lean towards more of the Pixel 8 Pro than the Pixel 6 Pro than the Pixel 7 Pro. But yeah, this particular situation, you have to consider how things look. And in the 2x mode is pretty much very much the same, whereas the Pixel 8 Pro looks the best, then followed by the Pixel 7 Pro, then the Pixel 6 Pro. You can see the whole edge detection and the blur around the Pixel 6 Pro is just a patch job all over. It's way more consistent on the Pixel 8 Pro, and it's a little bit more consistent on the Pixel 7 Pro, but you do see patches where there just isn't any blur because there's not enough light, so it's doing the best it can. Now, let's turn on night mode and you can see all of them perform a lot better. Now, the edge detection around the Pixel 6 Pro and the softness of the image still doesn't help it that much. So I'll definitely say the Pixel 8 Pro is a lot more consistent than the Pixel 7 Pro, then followed by the Pixel 6 Pro with night mode active. And we'll look at the 2x mode. Yep, you can see that the Pixel 6 Pro, funny enough, especially when it comes to edge detection, is a lot more consistent than what you see on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. So it takes a win, even though the detail and the sharpness of the Pixel 8 Pro is better overall compared to the other two. And last is the flash with portrait mode. And again, I like the more natural look of the flash exposure on the Pixel 6 Pro, whereas the flash exposure on the Pixel 8 Pro is quite powerful. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's probably a good thing if you've got a bit more distance between the two. So I would say in this particular situation, unorthodox, I like the Pixel 6 Pro, then followed by the 8 Pro, then the Pixel 7 Pro. Especially with the Pixel 7 Pro, it's struggling with the edge detection. I think all of them are. The Pixel 6 Pro is struggling on the left. The blur's a bit more consistent on the 8 Pro, so you might call it the win in this particular situation. But yeah, the natural look of the flash is something I like on the Pixel 6 Pro. And again, in this situation, when going to 2x, I would pick the Pixel 8 Pro, then the Pixel 7 Pro, and then the Pixel 6 Pro. So that pretty much wraps it up on this side. Let's now summarize the video performance between the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro and Pixel 6 Pro. Let's start with the front-facing camera. And immediately you're seeing the difference, right, and improvements. The Pixel 6 Pro to the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro, you have 4K 60 frames per second available on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. This is something that is limited to 4K 30, and you can only do 60 FPS when you go to 1080p. So if that is something you value, definitely go for the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. And you can see, even then jumping to the Pixel 8 Pro, Google have just done a very good job by tuning the colors. I just think how the colors are for pixels right now for video is the best we've seen on a Pixel device so far. And again, you've got autofocus on a selfie camera, so you're gonna be in focus. It's gonna look sharper and more detailed, more consistently, and just grabbing onto you is a lot better. So you can see the progression. Yeah, they've done a good job to improve the selfie on the performance for video. Again, I just hope in the future they can add video portrait mode, the background blur on the front facing camera, give it a 4K option, give it 24 FPS and a 30 FPS option for flexibility, and just give us control whether to control it before we start recording, during recording, or after we finish recording. That would be great to see. Video performance on the rear cameras, again, there is a nice progression here when it comes to improvements from the Pixel 6 Pro to the 7 Pro and even to the 8 Pro. Why? The fact that you've got 4K 60 frames per second on all the camera lenses for the Pixel 7 Pro and also the Pixel 8 Pro is great. And the flexibility to switch between them while recording on the same clip is something I've praised Pixel phones since the Pixel 7 Pro was doing it, because it's one of the only few phones that was doing it and it's pioneered it where others are now following. So it's great to see that progression. You don't get 4K 60 on the ultra wide or on the 4x zoom lens on the Pixel 6 Pro. And as I demonstrated, there's just this weird quirk where to get high frame rate, you have to switch to 1080p for the ultra wide. But when you're in 1080p for 60 FPS, it doesn't switch to the 4x zoom. The 4x zoom just doesn't want to use 1080p at 60 frames a second, which is so strange. But again, it's just one of those things that I noticed once I was testing it. It's why I like doing these tests, because I also learned about the quirks and what it can do and can't do compared to the improvements from before and against the competition. So that's something to consider. And the overall image has really improved. Again, how noisy the image was in the shadows is something that has been really cleaned up on the Pixel 8 Pro. Not entirely perfect, but much better compared to what we had on the Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. And you do get the background blur effect on the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 8 Pro. Again, it's limited to 1080p 24 FPS, and you can't really do much to affect the look of the blur, but it's something that's there if you like it on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro that's not available on the Pixel 6 Pro. But overall, you watched it, you've concluded and seen the video performance, and this is just a nice quick summary. And another thing to consider when it comes to the video performance as well, in 4K 30, you get the speech enhancement on the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. You don't get that on the Pixel 6 Pro when you're using the rear cameras. Speech enhancement only works in 4K 30 on a front-facing camera, but not on the rear cameras. So that's another improvement that you have in the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro. To get speech enhancement on the Pixel 6 Pro, you do have to step it down to 1080p 30. And again, that's another improvement that you've seen when it comes to the newer Pixel Pro devices. That is it with my definitive camera comparison between the Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel 7 Pro, and the Pixel 6 Pro. I hope this has helped you in knowing the improvements between the Pixel Pro devices, generation after 2 years, 3 generations of Pixel Pro devices. This is how the camera performance is like. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.